Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ege, and this is In Between Books. So guys, today we're going to be doing a book tag, and this is an original book tag. It's called the Harmattan book tag. So I came up with this book tag in 2022, so the video is still somewhere in my channel, but I looked at it recently and I just decided, why not, revamp it. And so this is a newer version of the same original tag. It's basically still the same thing, but with lesser questions, I guess. And yeah, so anyway, if you want to see the original tag, it should still be somewhere on my channel. But let's get into it. The first question I have is a book you wish you never read, and I'm going to pick The Beautiful Side of the Moon by Leia Adenle, because I regret spending money on this book, and I regret reading it. Anyway, so this book is supposed to be a fantasy set in Nigeria. So it's supposed to be this book about this IT person. His name is Society. He lives in Lagos, and one day he finds a mysterious note in his house, and he just is thrust into this magical world filled with like different people, and he's trying to stop like this bad guy from taking over the world or something of that nature. My problem with this book is that there were several plot holes. Like, this book was really trying its best to do a lot. Like, this book was trying to do way too much, if you ask me. I think that's one of the reasons why it fails, because it had multiple, like, the book was going multiple directions at the same time. So there was a lot of plot holes. The characters were one-dimensional. Honestly, this book lacked direction, frankly speaking. That's all I can say. A book with a slow start that is worth it at the end, and for that I chose Here Comes the Sun by Nicole Dennis Ben. And I chose this one because for me, I've just found it really difficult to really get into this book. Like, I know that it took me 3 days, or I think almost a week, at the start of the book. When I initially started the book, I was reading it really slowly. I wasn't really interested in it, but once I got into it, I think I finished this book in a day. Like, I think the first 25% I don't know where I was. I was still trying to find myself in this book, and then once I found myself, I just took off. I finished the entire thing in a day once I got to the 25% mark. So, and this book, I think, is definitely worth every minute of it's like the slow period where I was just trying to find myself. It was definitely worth it to me. This is a book set in Jamaica that follows 3 women, a mother and 2 daughters. And in order for Jamaica to be the destination, that like the paradise that it is, this book kind of like shows us the different things that happen to the locals in the area, and like the different things they have to go through in order for Jamaica to be the paradise that it is. Thus, a book you don't like the cover but love the book, and I will choose Vagabonds. The Nigerian cover of this book is atrocious, in my opinion. I detest this cover so much. I wish I could get like any of the other covers, like the UK or US cover. I so badly wish I could get one of those, because this cover is atrocious. I don't like it at all. But I like the book. It's a short story collection that just explores like Lagos. It follows people who live on the outskirts of society, like queer people, disabled people, displaced people, essentially vagabonds. And also Lagos is personified in this book. It's honestly a really good collection. I would highly recommend. The next is Wind, a book you breeze through, and I picked His Only Wife by Pete Azomede. This book, I think, it has been a while. I read the book in 2021, and I remember it was like an afternoon, like a weekend. It was in the afternoon, or I think it's Sunday evening, but a weekend and I just opened this book, and yeah, I did not stop until I finished. I remember feeling very engaged by the plots and just the story and the characters and everything in this world. This story is about Afi. She's a seamstress. She lives in a village in Ghana, and she essentially gets married to her husband in absentia. So her husband is not present for the wedding, but she gets married, and then she moves to the city. I think she moves to Accra. Yeah, she moves to Accra to live with her husband, and he then finds out that her husband actually has a second wife, or a first wife in this case, and she was essentially married to him by his family because they don't like his first wife. So we kind of see how she tries to do different things in order to like win her husband's affection. Essentially, it's a really good book. It was very entertaining when I read it. The final question is Lip Gloss a book with a beautiful cover? For this particular question, I have many books to pick from, but I just chose Dust Child by Nguyen Phan Quemine, which is a historical fiction set in Vietnam. It's a book about the Vietnamese war, and I haven't actually read it yet. I just have this book on my shelf. I don't know when I'll read it. God help me. Anyway guys, those are the questions. Thank you so much for getting to this point in the video, and I hope to see you in my next one. If you want to try this tag, feel free to try it out. Yeah, and if you want to do the original, like the original Harmattan book tag, you can also do that one if you feel like. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.